Welcome for the information session for the Master of Advanced Studies in Sustainable Finance and Development at the Graded Institute. The purpose of this info webinar is to present the program and career opportunities, but also to allow you to ask your questions following the presentation. So before we begin, let me introduce our speakers. So I'm Nathan Sussman. I'm co-directing the program, a professor at the Graded Institute. With me is David Bastiat-Jaroche, who is the co-director of the program. So he's with us here today. We have Tiffany Palmer from Career Services at the Graded Institute joining us too. We have Alexia Lima from Student Services at the Graded Institute. We also have the pleasure to have Max and Marie, two current math students. If you have any questions related to student life or how they are feeling in the program, etc., so I'll hand it over to them to answer. And we also have with us Liran Offner, who's a TA at the Center for Finance Development and a former alumni of the program. So if you have questions regarding that, he'll be able to assist you with that. Okay, so David, I hand it over to you to begin.
Thanks so much, Nathan. There is an environment of different institutions, both financial and non-financial NGOs, that are present in the city and are dealing in sustainability, both creating, selling products, but also on the side of developing networks and supporting the worldwide reporting framework. So, and this environment just makes this place really, really unique. Nathan?
So let me briefly talk about the main features of the program and the courses offered. So as we said, this is a one-year full-time program. This is in person here in Geneva. The dates for next year will begin on September 8th and end in September 11th, 2026. The teaching language is in English, and what we're looking for is graduates and professionals from all sectors. We prefer people with backgrounds in economics or finance, but this is not a requirement. Our main requirement is we're looking for people who want to make positive impact in sustainable finance. There's no professional experience required to attend the program. The degree we offer is a Master of Advanced Studies, which is a 60 ECTS credit program. In terms of the core learning outcomes, so and I'll briefly in another slide talk about the more detail of the courses, but we basically, during this program, you will master the core foundations of sustainable finance system. There will be an applied research project, which we call a capstone, but also you can pick electives from the Graded Institute offerings. We've listed here examples: impact evaluation, international environmental law and policy, climate change, international law, corporate governance, but there are many others to choose from depending on your preferences in terms of your area of expertise. Next slide, please. So how is our curriculum designed? So we have 6 components. The first one is what we call a theory module, which provides you with a core analytical tools. In total, 18 credits. It's comprised of an empirical methods for evidence-based policy research, which is a course in statistics econometrics, aimed at impact evaluation, to understand impact evaluation. We also offer 2 courses, 3 credits each: Foundations in Microeconomics, Foundations in Macroeconomics. The courses are not your standard economics micro and macro, but actually tailored to the issues and specifically dealing with issues that are related to finance and sustainable finance. In terms of microeconomics, will be agency theory. Macroeconomics, we'll look at bonds, sustainable bonds, green bonds, international bonds, sovereign debt, etc. Those kind of things that are interesting in the realm of sustainable finance. In addition, we provide core financial tools, principles of finance, and corporate finance. And so this kind of provides the theory. Then moving down, we have the sustainable finance module, which are basically kind of the philosophy and discussing the main issues that are what sustainable finance is. And we talk about nature and society within these modules. So we have a module which is focused on climate finance and impact investing, a 6 credit course. We have a course that I offer on sustainable finance development, which tackles the social elements. And we also have a course on social finance for sustainable development, which is actually more looking at the culture, sociological, political environment within which sustainable finance is operating. So these courses give you the kind of, as I said, the main issues that sustainable finance deals with, the main debates of this field. Then moving on to the right, top right, we have a list of practical courses, and they're offered in the second semester. We have a field trip that we're doing now this year for the second time. We're going to Serbia, and next year we'll decide together where to go. So this field trip is actually a trip where students get a first-hand approach to impact investing in the field in a developing country. So we try to limit ourselves to the proximity of Europe, but nevertheless, these countries are still in development process, and this course is the first practical course. Then we have a workshop on sustainable finance in practice, where we have weekly meetings with practitioners in the field of sustainable finance, from the big banks, regulators, rating agencies, compliance agencies, and nature finance and whatnot. A huge list of practitioners that attend every week, and it's an opportunity to hear about what is the cutting edge practices in each one of the subsets of sustainable finance, and also a networking opportunity during the seminar, when you can interact and network with potential internships or employers of the future. Finally, we have an intensive nature seminar. It's a 3-day seminar that this year takes place in Villar, and it's partly packaged with a skiing trip as well. Moving down in this matrix, we also provide required basic skill workshops and courses. These are non-credited. These are basically short workshops. So the first one is a math and Stata, which is the econometric software we're going to use in the program. And it occurs 1 week before the start of the semester. And this will give you the tools to be able to handle the core analytical courses. Then we have advanced topic workshops like non-financial reporting, project management, blended finance. Again, these are very short, very concentrated, targeted basic skills workshop that, of course, will enhance your CV and make you more attractable to future employers. We also have a public speaking workshop where we have a professional that works with the students on how to present themselves in various surroundings. We have a data and text analysis using Python, which is something which is now almost required by anybody, is to be able to scrap data and analyze text, etc., from the web. And finally, we have the on the right-hand side, the capstone project, which is associated with the practical courses, which is a project that the students work on, and it's their final project. And on the right-hand side, on the yellow, on the bottom right-hand side, we have elective courses that you can take. Basically, within the 60 CTS, the credits, you can take one course, but with permission of the program directors. If you want additional courses, 1 or 2, you can sign up for them and get. This will be beyond the minimum credits you would need, but this will be free of charge in terms of the program. So I'll move further down. talk a little bit about the teaching methods. So all our courses are in small groups. We deep dive in terms of analysis. The analysis is very rigorous. As you saw, we have the core courses that will give you the tools to do so. We also provide real life examples. We have lots of practitioners courses and practical tools. The people who teach in the program are all top faculty. We also bring you and expose you to industry practitioners, as I said, from the entire spectrum of sustainable finance. And with this, you also get the network benefits of interacting with all these people. One highlight of the interactive or network interactions is the participation of in Building Bridges, which is an annual sustainable finance conference here in Geneva, arguably the largest in terms of quantity of presenters in sessions in Europe, where you can interact and network with literally thousands of practitioners in the field. Okay, so this is just a snapshot of the professors. I'm not gonna spend time on this, and talk a little bit about the practicalities of the admission criteria and how to apply. So in terms of the educational requirements, we require a bachelor's degree. As I said, we prefer people in economics or finance or major economics or finance, but this is not a requirement. And all the students that did not have these basic requirements in the previous cohorts made it through successfully. So this is not an obstacle, but of course it will make your life easier. In order to admit people with different backgrounds, we require you to take a GMAT, GMAT Focus or GRE scores. We accept also the online version of these if the official reports are not ready yet. Just to clarify, we don't rank students based on the GRE or GMAT. We mainly focus on the quantitative component of these exams just to make sure that all of you, all the people we admit, can handle the courses, the analytical courses we provide. So this is just a threshold requirement. It's not a screening device or ranking or is not in any way used to select the students. It's just to provide a threshold. In terms of documents you require, so you need to require your CV, write a motivation letter. In the end, what we're looking for is a group of motivated students with a variety of backgrounds. This is what makes our program successful. And so the motivation letter should definitely express your desire to work in this field. And yeah, if you go on our webpage, there's a application form, a computer web-based application form where you can fill the particular fields and upload the documents. Next slide, please. Again, said in terms of upcoming practical information. So our application deadline is coming pretty soon, in a month, on February 23rd. We will provide you with our decisions no later than March 14th. And you would have to confirm your enrollment in the program by April 18th. It should be 25, not 24. So in terms of tuition and financial aid, so the basic tuition fee is 35,000 Swiss francs. Next to the application form, you have a financial aid scholarship form you can fill. And the way we allocate the scholarships is based on need. So the scholarships are not provided based on merit, on your academic achievements. It's provided based on need. So basically look at the pool of applicants we receive, we look at the budget we have to spend on scholarships, and we allocate the funds based on needs. As I said, you would need your official transcripts to upload on an application form, all the diplomas, English proficiency. If you studied in English or an English-speaking country, your education was in English, so you're exempt from the test. You should submit the test results only if you did not study in English or English-speaking university. And finally, reference letters should be sent directly to us by 2 referees. And for some of you, it's been quite some time since you graduated, so you can send one from one academic reference or one from an employer. And if it's been too far since your graduation from academic studies, so you can submit also 2 letters of reference from employers. And conversely, if you just graduated and have very little work experience, you can submit 2 academic letter references. That will be fine. So I think we will move now to Tiffany, who will talk a little bit about the career opportunities, and then we'll go on to the Q&A.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. So I'm Tiffany. I'm a career advisor at the Institute. And so I'll give you a quick overview of the way we support students at the Institute so they feel more comfortable tackling the job market in Switzerland. So this is the team. We're 3 career advisors and an assistant. And really, our mission is to empower students in their professional journey. And we do this through several means. So we have 3 pillars. The first one being professional development, and that's where we provide workshops on different topics like, getting your LinkedIn account going, making sure that you understand if you're interested in working for International Geneva, making sure you understand how to properly apply. So giving you any sort of advice on CV and cover letter writing, and the Inspira platform that is mostly used by UN agencies. And we also provide individual meetings, such as counselings, which are basically 1-hour meetings, one-on-one, where you can discuss anything that you want to discuss that's career related, maybe dilemmas that you're facing, maybe just, feeling a little lost and confused, and just brainstorming what would be the best job search strategy for you so that you feel, very comfortable in tackling your job search. We also provide individual CV checks, individual application checks, that you feel, again, confident whenever you're applying. And we do also interview preparations of 30 minutes. So whenever you secure an interview, you can reach out to us and we'll be happy to support you with that. And then the second pillar is going to be recruitment and job opportunities. So meaning we have an online job portal that you would have access to, where we basically just share any opportunities that has been shared with us by partner organizations, such as some of the ones that David shared with you. So, maybe Oak Foundation or maybe UN agencies or Sustainable Finance Geneva or Symbiotics. I mean, organizations that maybe you're not familiar with yet, but you will be once you, and if you decide to come to the Graduate Institute. And so we share job opportunities on our online job portal, and that's just for the community of the Institute. And then we have networking events. I think David already mentioned it, and Nathan as well. You'll be exposed to a lot of professionals in the sector, and on top of it, within the Institute, we have additional events that the Career Services organize, like the NGO Career Days, where we had 25 plus NGOs coming in October of last year. And so we had some from, that were in the sector of sustainable finance. And then coming up for the current students who are doing the mass right now, we have the IO Career Days. So here we'll have World Economic Forum coming. I think UNEP is coming. I mean, so we'll have 26, 27 international organizations coming in at the Institute and presenting. And so it's really a great opportunity for students to network. And then we provide also administrative support. And so for any sort of, if you are looking to get potentially a part-time job while you're here, or later down the line once you're going to be graduating, if you want to remain in Switzerland and, need any sort of support there in terms of, you know, work authorizations and stuff like that, we're happy to also provide some support there. I'm here if you have any questions.
Thank you, Tiffany. So yeah, so we have a question about the motivation letter. So if it's one page, I mean, try to fit it to one page, but if it goes a little bit over, it's okay. We're not gonna, I mean, we don't have an AI bot that rejects applications if they exceed slightly the requirements, but concentrate on what brought you into the program more recently, and what you plan to do once you graduate, how do you, those kind of things, focus on those. But again, if it goes beyond one page, it's perfect. It's perfect. Don't worry. We'll read every word. Now, in terms of the GRE, I have a question. So GRE, GMAT is mandatory. As I said, we don't use this to rank people. We just use it as a threshold. So any student we admit, we are confident that they can pass the analytical courses successfully. It's a shame to go through a program and then fail in one of the courses because of some technicality or analytical issues. So we just want to make sure. So that's why we ask for this. Because otherwise, you know, all of us are taking a risk in terms of admitting people. Of course, if you have a master's in economics, then of course, or related, then of course, feel free to consult with us whether you need a GRE or not. But if you just have a bachelor's degree, if you're coming from non-economics, and again, we welcome people from all kinds of backgrounds. It makes it more interesting for us and the other students, that students share different educational backgrounds. So in that case, that's why we require these. And you can take a GMAT. There's GMAT Focus, which is it's a new form of the GMAT exam, which is much more focused, as they say. It's shorter and more friendly in terms of preparation. So for us, as I said, it's just a threshold requirement. But without that, we'll be feeling a little bit insecure in terms of admitting people to this program. Okay, so I see that exhausted the first questions. So maybe I'll turn on to Max and Marie. Maybe you can share briefly your experience as students. Are the courses too difficult, etc.? How do you feel like in the program? Maybe just briefly talk about your experience so far.
Yeah. Okay, I'll start. Hi, everyone. My name is Marie. I'm actually, before joining the program, I was already working in Geneva, and I was very motivated to transition into the sustainability field, and this is why I took this course, and the content really attracted me to join the course. So far, my background is actually engineering, although I've been working in banking for a while. But the economics content of the course really sort of caught me out of guard. It was quite challenging to begin with, but with the help of the professors, the coursework, I think we achieved a lot. We've grown a lot as well. The class is very dynamic, interactive. I've really enjoyed the classes that we participated. Yeah, so far it's been a good time spent. Very much looking forward to the project in Serbia. So we're having the field trip in February. So looking forward to that. Yeah, and I'll pass it to Max.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Max. I'm also from the current cohort, and I do have an economics background, and I was working in sustainable finance before already, but didn't have a master's. So this is one way of combining those two and further developing knowledge in the field for me. And I really like that we start off with the foundational courses again in macro and micro. It really allowed to get a better picture again, or as a refresher, especially when you've worked already a little bit in the prior. It's really good to get back into the topic, also back into the academics. So I really like those courses, and also the courses we've had with the other professors. For example, with Professor Sussman, we did a lot of interesting projects on tasks in the course of sustainable finance and development, working with sustainable finance mechanisms, and yes, so I can only add on to what Marie said. I'm super looking forward to the field trip that we're having, and also the networking opportunities are great with building bridges. That's maybe also one thing to reiterate.
Yeah. And that's it from us.
Thank you very much. Let me add a few words. I mean, in terms of the kind of support we provide, talking about the economics courses, the GRE, and the statistics. So throughout the first semester, we have 1 or 2 PhD students that are actually constantly in support and provide continuous support to the one-year master students to help them through and address all the difficulties and challenges of the economics courses. So you get this mentorship throughout, and we have great PhD students that are really happy to help on this as well. Yeah, if Alexia is here, maybe you want to say a couple of words on housing and kind of services you provide.
Sure, thank you. Thank you for this great presentation. And regarding, so I'm working in the admission office. We are in charge of the other master's programs, but we of course are here to support the students of the mass, and especially this transition period before you arrive in Geneva, and once you're here, to make sure that everything is smooth, and with the visa if you're coming from abroad, and we have different sessions to guide you through this online application process. So no no big worries here. We're really here to support with that, and as well, of course, the housing is really important. It's one of the key questions if you're not in Geneva yet, but we are quite happy with our 2 student residences. There's pretty much a spot for everyone who would like to apply for. So it's like first come, first served, but we have 950 spots. So there are like many different options. One of the residents, I can see it from my office. It's really close to the building, and the other, it's like 10 minutes away, maybe 15 when it's snowing in the winter, but there's plenty of room. And if you don't decide to apply for a room within our residences, we also provide a list of alternative accommodations options, whether it's with University of Geneva or other student housing. So yeah, we do provide this kind of support. And yeah, we just want to make sure that you have all the information when it comes to living in Geneva before you arrive, and then once you're here, we make sure that the whole team is here for you to support with this honeymoon period, which is super exciting when when the first month, and then also in the winter when it's a bit more gloomy and rainy. But yeah, the whole team is basically here to support. That's the key message, I guess. I don't know if there was specific questions on the technical aspects of moving to Geneva, but yeah, feel free to reach out in case of needs.
So I guess there's another question. If the program is more job oriented, is academic training. So so let me emphasize, the program is professionally oriented. It's a 1-year degree. If you want to then go on and do research, then you would need a master's with a thesis, and we don't provide that. So so in that case, if you're thinking about a PhD, you would have to enroll in a 2-year program or 90 credit program at least. that offers that provides you with a master thesis if you want to study your PhD in Europe. So a capstone is exactly as David was saying, and I was saying before. It's a practical project, and I guess we're fortunate to have Liran here, who completed a capstone project last year. So maybe you can, in a couple sentences, tell us what you guys did, and how does that differ from a thesis?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? All right. So, hello, my name is Duran. I'm part of the first cohort of the program, and I'll be very brief. We collaborated with the IFC in Georgia, and we were given the task to restructure a bond of one of the biggest companies, private companies in Georgia. Refinancing the bond into local currency, which was previously issued in US dollars. And the project was practical in the sense that we talked with the CFO of the company. We took on a real project, very, let's say, relevant, and that could be useful not only to that particular company, but the model that we developed could also be implemented in other fields, helpful to other companies in Georgia. The task was an amalgamation of everything that we've learned in the program, meaning we had to implement the macroeconomic knowledge. We had to take into consideration exchange rate risk, to how to read a prospectus, and to deliver a report which was very brief relatively to the amount of topics that we had to research in order to provide it. It was 21 pages long, and it was very focused. I'd say it was more of a professional report than a thesis, because the research question was extremely practical. How do we solve this issue that this company had to deal with currently? I hope that was helpful for this kind of contest.
Thank you. So yeah, this is the purpose. And again, for this year, we're still working with the IFC to see what the project will be now for this year. But again, it's a very practical problem-solving type of project, which is addressing a specific financial tool. So you get to know kind of the ins and out of a specific tool, whereas a thesis is more of a research question with hypotheses and hypothesis testing. And it's a completely different, but also in terms of credits. So this is only 6 credits. The thesis is much longer. You work on it on your own. Here it's a group effort. So it's also in terms of the structure, it's a lot different than a thesis. I see no more questions. So let me just add a couple words on the kind of the life here at the Institute. So the Institute, I mean, and you're welcome to both follow the LinkedIn, but also look at the events page of the Institute. We have tons of events occurring at Institute. And I guess Max here can tell you about an event that he and another fellow of the program, Augusto, had this year as well. So yeah, I'll give him the floor in a second so he can tell you that even you can propose events and attract crowds. We have a graduate student impact investing club that I believe some of the mass students are members of. So that's another platform to integrate with there. But maybe Max, you can tell us a couple words about the event you organized.
Thank you, Professor Sussman. So I'm part of the Impact Investment Association here in Geneva, the student initiative. And what the initiative does is it organizes with the center events. And in our case, we were fortunate to contact the Sustainable Development Lead at the UEFA Foundation, and we invited him to the Institute, and he held an hour-long talk on impact investment into sports for development and how that can be used as a mechanism and post structures and financing mechanisms, which was very interesting because it's a topic that usually is not so looked into when you think of impact investment. So this was for GIA, for the student initiative, at least a new angle on impact investment that we took. And there's a lot of freedom in the creation of events when you join the initiative as well. And that's also one thing the program makes possible. So it's not just the program, but the entire experience at the Institute. There are so many initiatives that you can join, you can be part of. And also because of the center, there are so many events related around the issue, topic of sustainable finance and economics that you have access to. So we also have access to an event from the OECD, to a talk from the OECD here at the Institute, from the World Bank, someone came as well. So it's a wide range of events that you can participate in and you can listen into.
Thank you, Max. Hopefully to see you next year. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.